Firstly, I'd like to thank you for giving me an opportunity to advocate for our faculty-wide adoption of a dialogic teaching approach. Given my recent engagement in the Oral Communication Unit at UNSW, I've reflected on my own teaching philosophy, and I believe we owe it to our students to provide them with opportunities to learn in ways which reflect their specific learning needs and in a manner that reflects engagement in the democratic processes of society more generally speaking. Of course, it is imperative that we cover curriculum content, but I consider our role as educators to go beyond this black and white view of teaching and learning. I'm more interested in developing well-rounded, versatile and responsible citizens capable of thinking critically both inside and outside of the classroom environment. Simply put, dialogic teaching is an approach which utilises talk, such as questioning and discussion, to stimulate and extend students' thinking and develop their learning and understanding of the various themes, concepts and content embedded within learning activities. Alexander suggested that it is based on 5 principles. 1, that is collective, or that students learn together. 2, that it is reciprocal, in that everybody shares ideas. 3, it is supportive and participants can share their ideas without fear or embarrassment. 4, it is cumulative. Students build up ideas into coherent lines of thought. And 5, it is purposeful, in that it is a planned instructional discussion, albeit one which is open and dialogic in nature. Such approaches are effective as it is widely accepted that the majority of learners acquire knowledge most effectively through oral communication and exploratory talk. This is best achieved within an inclusive and supportive learning environment in which students are encouraged to listen to one another respectfully and thoughtfully and extend upon the responses with their own unique views and understandings. Within a dialogic classroom, the teacher's role is that of a facilitator, guiding conversations and the lesson trajectory from the side, interjecting and contributing where necessary, but mostly allowing students to learn through their talk rather than being presented with information according to traditional monologic IRE, which is initiate, response, evaluate practices. Generally speaking, the overarching goal of dialogic teaching is the prompting of critical thinking and inquiry. Most importantly, the process of engagement in classroom talk is more important than the outcome of the activity. That is to suggest that the most effective and meaningful learning occurs through the interactions and co-construction of meaning, rather than the student's arrival at a certain position in relation to a set question or task. For example, imagine you were teaching a Year 9 English class the theme of identity. If you were to ask a question along the lines of, where did you grow up and how does this place reflect your own identity? If you open the floor to discussion and individual input, you will likely find that the true value of this activity lies not in the independent answers of each student, but rather in the identification of similarities and differences of each response and the ensuing discussion which makes sense of this data and collaboration, which helps build a communal response or understanding of the question. To conclude, I'd really like to urge you all to take some time to consider the benefits of dialogic teaching and commit to adapting or adopting strategies within your practice to at least test the theory. As I mentioned earlier, our students will benefit by being positioned to become active learners, capable of communicating more effectively with their peers. They'll be equipped with the tools necessary to succeed academically, but also to become upwardly mobile citizens and positive contributors within their communities. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I hope that this presentation can lead to a lively discussion between us, which is slightly less monologic than what I've just modelled. Thank you.